What's up, guys? CryptoSavvy here. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and we'll take a look at the Dow Jones at the end of this video. Don't forget, we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out, guys. It's an awesome community if you want to go hang out and talk about crypto. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. There's disclaimers going on the bottom. Make sure you read it, and always remember this is my opinion, not yours. All right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin news headlines real quick, get a feel for the sentiment. Bitcoin price, 5 things to know about crypto markets this week. Why Bitcoin analysts who predicted rally to 8K thinks that a trend reversal will come around 8K. I'm going to talk about that today because that's what I've been talking about and looking at, and we will see what's going to happen and how that coincides with the Dow Jones and traditional markets. So crypto long and short, how oil going negative could open the potential for Bitcoin rally. Bitcoin hits April high. Crypto portfolios get stimulus injection. Sideways Bitcoin price stalls Tezos, 10K Bitcoin price back in play. So it seems as it's getting more and more bullish by the news sentiment. Fear and greed index, we are 28, which is 7 points higher than yesterday. So we're definitely moving up on it. We're still in the fear, out of the extreme fear. And let's take a look at the monthly real quick. We are outside of this. If we close the monthly outside of this channel, we could be in good shape as long as we open and close the next candle, obviously. But as of right now, we are still getting rejected here at the 8 EMA. I do think there's a possibility we get a wick up to this blue line here, which is the 8,000 mark. I do see that as a very good possibility. We're going to talk about that also. I do want to remind you guys, this is my wife's webpage. She makes the t-shirts like these. There is long sleeve tees, hoodies, keychains, and some other stuff. Hit her up in the contact if you don't see it in here. But she can put any crypto, any saying, anything you want on this, any of this stuff, coffee mugs, t-shirts, hats. And she does do this all herself. So I really appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, this is a good way to do it. All right, let's look at the weekly. So as you guys know, here's my trend lines for what seems to be like a symmetrical triangle here. I do have the yellow bottom trend line here, which we did tag already. I do have some lower targets here, and I will show you why I have them there. First off, looking at this as a flagpole, this being the bear flag, the measured move or the breakdown from there would be about 1,060, somewhere in that area. Definitely a possibility, guys. I'm not saying it's going there. I am saying to watch and pay attention. I do have a target also at the 2574, which is lining up with the old trend line all the way back from 2016. So keep that in mind. We'll go in a little deeper now. Looking at the daily, if you guys are interested in trading, I'll leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. I also have other links down below. I have Prime XBT, Bybit, and Dudex. They all have great features. They all have different features. My suggestion is, if you are interested in it, check it out. Try them all out. Play with them before you decide. I do use them all, so but they all have bonuses if you use my links down below also. So check them out if you are interested in trading Bitcoin. In Prime XBT, you can trade pretty much anything: oil, gold, silver, everything with Bitcoin. So check it out, and let's don't forget the Savvy 50 and Savvy 25 promo codes on Prime XBT. They you can get a 50% bonus on your deposit. So let's look at, first I'm going to zoom out. So you can see this bottom trend line we have here. I've cloned it and I've put it up here on, let me get this back, on each one of these wicks here. And we watched them go through here and become support and resistance last time we were in this area. As you can see, support, resistance, support, all the way through, and we are back in there again. We did open and close our candle yesterday. Well, we've opened our yesterday's daily above it. The 200 EMA right now is sitting at the 78.84 range, and the 0.618 is right around. If you guys see these white labels here, these are Fibonacci retracement zones from this whole swing high to swing low here. That's what these white lines are. The 5400 is also one, and as you guys know, if you watch the channel, that is my target that I'm still looking for, unless we break above this 8,000. If we break above 8,000 and close at least a 4-hour above there, then I switch bullish. But until then, guys, I am still bearish. This still looks like a rising wedge. And if you remove this, it looks like a rising channel. So either way, most of the time, either one of these, whichever one it may be, I do believe it's the wedge, is a bearish sign. They end up breaking bearish. So let's look at it as the wedge, and let's just do let's say we broke down sometime this week. The target of that would be around the 4,400 range, somewhere in that area. Now, that doesn't mean we drop straight down. Doesn't mean we can't, but it doesn't mean we drop straight down. You know, that could take some time. And that would be getting below my $5,400 target first. Now, let's look at it. Let's look at one more target I got here, looking at this as a flagpole. This as a bear flag, which I don't necessarily think that anymore because of how long it is, unless we use what I showed you in the monthly or in the weekly. But anyways, the target of that's around the 33 to 3,400. But first things first, let's move this out of the way and look at these targets here. Looking at this as a falling channel, let's say we came all the way back over here before we dropped out. That would get us to that 54 range. If we dropped out sometime this week, that would get us to somewhere in the 50. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to get rid of that target there because 5,400 is the target for me right there. So if we break past that 8,000 here, guys, my target is 9,400. I do turn bullish, like I said, if we close a 4-hour above this 8,000, but I still think we're going to get a major rejection there. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens, but if it does break up, I think it'll be a great long. If it gets rejection, I think it'll be a great short, in my opinion. Definitely do your own due diligence, but that's what I'm looking at here, guys. Those are my two main targets of the break out of this channel or wedge, whichever you want to look at it. But as you can see, we are getting support now on this trend line here. And the funny thing is that everything, which is the top of the wedge, this top trend line, and I'll show you in the 1 hour, there's another trend line that all match up right at this. It's about 79, between $7,980 and $8,000 range. Now let's look at the RSI in the daily and see where we're at. As you guys know, back in here, I drew this possibility as a inverse head and shoulders, which looks like it is playing out. And it does look like we have another run up coming possible. That's not to say we can't turn around here, but it does look like we have room for another run up, possibly to that $8,000 range, and then down from there, in my opinion. Let's look at the 4 hour. This is what I was talking about. We'll take a look at the RSI in a second. I do want to take a quick look at the EMAs because they are looking very bullish. As you can see, the 8, and this is the daily again, the 8 and the 13 have crossed the 55. Like I said, the 200 EMAs up here about the 78.80, and the 21. Everything's still looking bullish here, but as you guys know, that can turn in a heartbeat. And I am thinking that we're almost topped out here, guys. But this is what I wanted to show you. This white trend line here, coming off these two peaks. We zoom in over here. And I had said I'd been talking about this 7,700 area for quite some time. Obviously, it was support and resistance from way back. But we are playing with that right now, and it does look like a little bull flag forming right here. So we're most likely going to get our run up there to the $8,000 range. But that white trend line there matches up with the 0.618 fib and the top of that wedge, or top of that channel, whichever way you want to look at it. We've already talked about the targets. I'm still looking for the 6,400 area at least, if we do get rejection at the 8,000, which I think we will. Let's look at the RSI and the 4 hour. As you can see, I have a symmetrical triangle forming in here. And again, this is on the 4 hour. Like I said, it looks like we have room to come up for one more touch, which is right here. If this breaks, a good way, I use the RSI here. I have this trend line here. So if the 4 hour, in a 4 hour candle, it can come up here and close back down inside. But if it closes outside of here, I turn bullish here, guys, on a 4 hour. Let's look at the Litecoin. Same thing. Litecoin's the only one that's falling behind in this wedge. If we look at Ethereum, Ethereum's leading the way, and it's already hit the top of the wedge here. So let's look at the measured moves for Litecoin. If we looked at this as a bear flag, my target's around the $18,000 range if we were to break down sometime this week. As you can see, the EMAs here, the 55 is crossing the 200. Let's see if that holds or if we fall out of that. Will Litecoin eventually take the same route Bitcoin and Ethereum did and go touch the top of the wedge? That is yet to be known. Go here. If we break down from here, the measured move of the wedge is around the 2491 range, which is a double bottom pretty much. There is lower targets too. If we took, just to be aware of it, guys, if we took this whole thing as a flagpole and we took it, broke down over here somewhere, that would get us right around the $5 range. That sounds crazy, but if you remember, that's where it was at in the beginning of 2017. So, I mean, it is a possibility. I'm not saying it's going there. I want you guys to be aware of it, though. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn this down a little bit. I forgot to look at the targets here. If we were to come up and touch top of this wedge, that'd be around the $51 to $52 range. We have the 0.5 fib up here at 54.71. Golden pocket, golden retracement zones around 61.77. And if we do fall out of this wedge, obviously this blue line here, which is around 41.31, it's been supporting resistance a lot. Might get a little bounce there, but next support being 0.236. So if that breaks, then I'm looking for the 24 to possibly $5, depending on what Bitcoin does. I know it sounds bearish as hell. A lot of people hate that. I am a Bitcoin bull, guys. You guys know that. I'm just looking at reality here. And what seems to be happening, like I said, with the traditional markets, I believe it's a fake pump. They're just going to take more of the money that they've already been taking from everybody. It's pretty cut and dry, guys. But anyways, Ethereum has touched the top of this wedge. If we were to break down from here, let's do the measured moves. I don't know where my wedge. Oh, there it is. It's right inside there. That's why I didn't see it. All right, so if we did a measured move, if we were to break down over here, we'd be around the 113 range. I'm sure we would get a nice bounce off of this old resistance, become new support line somewhere in the 137 area, and that would line up with the 236 or the 0.236 fib. So I would look for a bounce there, but my target falling out of the bottom of this wedge would be around 113. If We break up out of it, guys, then we're looking around the $260 range, somewhere in that area as my target. Although we do have the 0.786 fib here at 247, and the same trend line we have in Bitcoin here, if we were to go up and test the top of that, would be around $240 range. So, but that's only if we break up out of this, guys, and that's to break the around the $202 zone. If we were to break that and come up, then I'd be looking for 214. If that breaks, 247, so on and so forth. But like I said, I'm still bearish here. In my opinion, if we look at the EMAs here, we look like we're still getting supported on the 13, but it does look like it's ready to fall out. I suppose we could get another pump up here to the $203, $205 range, depending on when it gets up there. Let's look at the RSI. RSI does look like it has room to pop up one more time before coming down. Definitely a possibility. Does look like everything's going to push up maybe one more time. Let's look at the Dow Jones now. Let's look at the let's look at Dow Jones here. Same thing. Dow Jones is in a wedge in the 4-hour on the RSI. Let's look at, so far we're getting support on all the EMAs in the 4-hour. As you guys know, I have a rising wedge drawn in here too with a target of 19.7 on the Dow Jones. I have some lower targets also. Let's go into, it's possible. I don't believe it's too likely, but it is possible that we rally all the way up to 25.2 to 25.3, which is the golden retracement zone of this swing high to swing low here. So it is a possibility, but as of right now, we are getting rejected at the 0.5. We'll see how that works out. But either way, guys, I don't see us going up above this 200 EMA. If we get up above this 200 EMA in a daily and close, that changes my whole perspective and everything. But everything looks set up for one more push up before crashing down. Let's look at the daily. If we look at the daily, the 200 EMA is at almost 2,600 points. So I guess that's possible we get up that high. But as of right now, we can't get above the 55 EMA, which is around the 24.1, which is also the 0.382 fib. Now, to take a look at these measured moves here, we've had them here for quite some time. And I can't find them. I got this one. Whoops. All right, here we go. So looking at this rising channel here that we broke down out of, we actually came back in it, but we're playing with the support line right now. But a measured move is 17.2 from the breakdown of that. We did have other targets in there that we did hit. The 18.3, which is the 0.786 fib. We got a nice bounce there and bounced up a little bit, but it just doesn't look that strong, guys. And like I said, I don't believe that there's any reason for the market to be doing this. I know a lot of people said fundamentals don't matter anymore. They're printing money, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I'm a firm believer in the charts, and I think this thing is going to still come down hard, in my opinion. And another way I'm looking at this is looking at this as a megaphone, this being the support line on the bottom, resistance up top, take a measured move from the widest point where it broke down. And if that 17.2 does not hold, guys, my target is around 91 to 9,200 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a like, hit the thumbs up, leave your comments down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for helping this channel grow. Please share the video if you enjoy it. And yeah, I'm out. Take it easy.